Hi there, brilliant people. So today's question is, why do I need intuition anyway? So obviously that's something I do think you do need. So I'm going to give you 10 reasons. So if you need to explore more about why you need your intuition, there's many videos on this channel. And obviously I think you need it because otherwise I wouldn't be wasting my time talking about it as much as I do on this channel and elsewhere, in fact. So, as I said, I'm going to give you 10 reasons, so let's get into it. So the first reason is that your intuition helps you deal with the unknown. Our left brain is very good at, helping us navigate things that we already know. So because we know that, we understand it. Whereas our intuition, that's a part of our mind that helps us deal with the unknown. And considering that for most people, most of their fears come from the unknown, I think that's kind of important. So the second reason is that your intuition actually enables you to grow. Now, this is obviously linked with the first reason about that it helps you explore the unknown, because as we grow, we have to move out of the known into the unknown. So the more that we actually rely on our intuition, the more comfortable we are in exploring the unknown, and that, in time we will then get to be able to master or handle more of the unknown, and hence we will grow. So the third reason why you need your intuition is it helps you develop self-trust. Now, elsewhere on this channel, I have talked about the 3 trusts, so you might want to watch that video. I'll put it somewhere, end credits or something. But the thing is, with intuition, it's kind of there in the word, the tuition that comes from inside kind of thing. But in order for you to be able to listen to your intuition, you have to trust yourself. You have to actually give yourself at least a little bit of belief that your intuition knows what it's talking about. And so when you listen to yourself, when you listen to that voice inside, even if all the outside voices are saying very different things, and yet that inside voice turns out to be correct, well, yeah, it helps you very much. It helps you develop self-trust, because when you get that same voice that it kind of knows what it's talking about. I mean, it doesn't mean that, of course, you can still listen to other people, but you want to treat it as it is what it is, which is it is advice. It is not a directive. Often your intuition is more of a directive because that's obviously often the wiser part of you talking to you. So that's probably the voice you want to listen to. But yes, so reason 3 why you need your intuition is it helps you develop self-trust. And of course, going along with that, number 4, it helps you develop increased confidence and emotional ease. Because your intuition helps you navigate the unknown and also helps you develop self-trust, when you're faced with problems or uncertainties or the world going crazy like it seems to be wanting to do at the moment, it enables you to know that, well, I may not know what's going to happen, but my intuition will get me through it. My intuition knows how to navigate the unknown. So even though the world is crazy, I don't have to go crazy, because my intuition can help keep me on track for the future that I want for myself and my family and whoever, my community. So with that, the more that we get an intuition, act on the intuition, see the results, and we just build on that. Not only does that build our self-trust, it actually gives us the confidence that knowing that no matter how crazy things get, we will be able to, thanks to our intuition, we will be able to navigate through it and come out well on the other side. So I suppose particularly when times are crazy like they are at the moment, yes, you need your intuition. So lesson 5 is that your intuition helps you find solutions. So it helps you find solutions to problems that you don't already know. And of course, I mean, that's kind of a bit of a sort of, what is it, oxymoron? Like the thing is, if you already knew how to solve a problem, you would have dealt with it already. I mean, that's logical. I mean, you're not silly. So if you have a problem, if you already knew how to deal with it, you would have already dealt with it. However, when you have a problem and you don't know how to deal with it, that's when your intuition steps in, because of course this means the problem is unknown. Which part of it is it that which part of us is it that finds the unknown? It's our intuition. Going along with that, yes, it helps us have a positive focus, because that's what helps trigger our intuition to give us what that solution is. But the more that we use our intuition and learn how to use it with focus and intention, the more simply, easily, effectively we will find solutions. So that's number 5. Number 6 is we get to set kind of unreasonable goals. Let me explain that. So most of the times, one of the reasons why we kind of get stuck is because we're kind of looking at our lives and going, well, my life is like this, so the best I can hope for is that. And to actually set our sights on something more than that, a lot of people will tell you, that you're kidding yourself, you're delusional, whatever. So it's unreasonable. So in many ways, particularly when you don't know how to get that thing, so yeah, it's not so much a goal as a dream. Like an unreasonable goal is kind of like a dream. And dreams, again, we're back into the unknown. So if we really want to create in our lives more than what our current circumstances are giving us, or what we even think is reasonable according to our current circumstances, we're going to need our intuition to get there. So if you're wanting more from life, if you want to expand and explore and have a more abundant life than what you have now, you're going to want to need, you need your intuition. All right. So 7. So 7 goes along with the previous ones about, unreasonable goals or your dreams. Your intuition helps you tap into your particular genius, your particular brilliance. See, each one of us has something that we can bring to the world that is dependent on our unique talents, the kind of range of experience and skills that we have developed in life. And in a sense, like, no one else can do it. I mean, sure, so other people might be able to do something similar, but no one can do it in quite the same way that we can do it. And so us tapping into our genius, into our brilliance, and being able to offer that to the world, not only is that very satisfying, but it's also a great way to create a good life for yourself. But also, when you're tapping into your genius, you're tapping into that deeper part of yourself, that more authentic part of yourself. And yeah, that's definitely something you want to do. So If you want to be able to live from your genius, live by expressing your brilliance, you're going to need your intuition. So, well, what am I up to? Number eight. So, of course, going along with expressing your genius or tapping into your genius, your intuition helps you express your creativity. The underlying logic of your intuition, which is a pattern-based logic rather than the linear sort of right-wrong kind of logic that we were taught at school. And creativity largely has a similar kind of logic. One of the ways that you can help trigger your creativity is you actually bring a number of things together that wouldn't normally go together. I won't get into it now because I've done other videos on creativity and intuition. So, but using your intuition, it helps you work with your creativity, because in many ways they're not quite the same, but they're sort of like this. They're very allied to each other. You'll find that people in every area of work, you know, whether it's computer programming or building bridges, like these might seem like very left brain things to do. And obviously there are certain rules with programming and, you know, mechanical engineering. No, what's that? It's not mechanical engineering, that's civil engineering, building bridges. So there are certain rules that you have to follow if what you're doing is going to work. I mean, gravity is gravity. There's no getting around it. You need to make sure that your bridge stands up under gravity. If you're doing software programming, you've got to make sure that your software is compatible with whatever else is out there. Otherwise, you're going to have to build a whole new internet. So there are certain rules that you have to follow. So it may seem to many of us that those aren't particularly creative jobs. And maybe for a lot of people they're not, because they're just following the rules. But in most fields of endeavour, it's often the top 5 or 10% of people. They're the people who are really sort of garnering most of the success and really doing amazing things. And you'll find that those people are creative. It's just that they're bringing their creativity to actually solving unique problems within their own particular field. So if you want to express your creativity, you're going to need your intuition. So number 9, ninth reason why you need your intuition, a little bit like solving problems, but this is more like solving problems between people. In other words, when you have a relationship, whether it's within a community of people or, you know, friends or family, whatever, because people are people and people are different, it's inevitable that problems or differences are going to come up from time to time. And intuition will help us resolve those differences, but not in a way by compromising, because that kind of sucks. And like somebody once described compromising as a solution that makes everybody equally unhappy. And so that should tell you that if we compromise, we might have taken the pressure off for now, but the problem's going to come around again because people are unhappy about it. But with our intuition, we can work it through and we can find a solution, what I call a resolution, that everyone is actually happy with. Like everyone is getting, maybe not the way that they wanted it to look, but they're actually getting the things that they need out of the resolution. So that's number 9. And number 10, if it's not clear by now, if you want to lead a richer, healthier, more abundant life, you're going to need your intuition. In other words, you're going to need your intuition to remember that you're brilliant.